If you want to start by designing with AI agents like Codex, Claude, or Stitch, and you don't know how to go about it, then you need to watch this video. By the end of this video, you should be equipped with the right knowledge that will help you by design like a pro. And before we start off with the design, I would like to explain what vibe design is. Vibe design is a way that people create interfaces by describing what they want to AI agents. So we have a few of them. We have Stitch, we have Claude, and we have Codex. So these are like the popular ones. That's why I listed them here. Personally, I use Stitch because it is open for everyone, and then you can use their freemium plan. So for this project, we'll be using Stitch because anyone can easily go there, create an account, and then start using it. It understands layout, typography, color, components, spacing, and most of the UI elements or UI languages. So before AI, the usual designer's flow used to go this way. They open Figma, create a frame, and start deciding on which fonts they have to use to communicate a certain feeling, and then look for a way to manually position notch elements on the screen. They worry about spacing. Should I add more spacing between elements? Should I reduce the spacing? And so many other thoughts. And then they might end up spending over 2 hours coming up with just one interface. And then with the help of AI now, you can easily open an app like Stitch, type what you want, and then it will start designing the interfaces. It understands like what you want based on your description. With Vibe Design, you can come up with screens in less than 10 minutes, and compared to the usual flow, which takes over 2 hours or more to come up with a screen. So it is here to help, not here to replace designers, and I use it to speed up my workflow. So why should you really care about Vibe Design? First of all, it helps designers come up with screens quickly. There are times where you have deadlines and you want to submit the designs on time, so you can use tools like Stitch to come up with screens, and then you'll be able to present the designs. So it also helps designers whenever they're experiencing creative block, because there are times where you don't really know how to go about a screen or a certain element on the screen. You can easily use AI agents to come up with solutions for you. And then lastly, it helps non-technical people come up with screens as well. Most developers might not really know how to come up with user interfaces, so using tools like Stitch, Codex, or Claude can help them do that, and it speeds up the whole flow and process. So that is why you actually need this embedded in your workflow. And then I have a workflow that I actually use when it comes to coming up with screens using AI agents. First of all, I come up with the app category, and then I list out the screens. So the category can be fintech, can be property tech, can be e-commerce, whatever the category may be. I write it out, and then I write out a list. I come up with a list of screens that I want for this application. It might be login screen, sign up screen, onboarding screen, settings screen, home screen, whatever the screens are. I just write them out, because this is what you use to prompt the AI agent as well. And then I also come up with the mood and style. The style is like the elements that users interact with that communicates that mood. So you need this element or this visual element to communicate a certain mood. If you use a bold font, for instance, it communicates a different feeling, and the users will be able to tell when they use the application. So after that, I move over to the UI elements. So when it comes to UI elements, you have to list out the elements that will be on each screen. So if you have a login screen, you list out the element that should be there, the input field, the buttons, the logo, whatever you want to be on that screen, you list them out. And then this is what you also include when you're prompting the AI agent. The next thing I do is write the prompt. I have a template that I use for creating my prompt, and you can actually download this template by clicking the link in the description. So once I'm done with the prompt, I move over to prompt the AI agent, and then once I'm done with that and I have a result, I'll list out the things I like, or you might not have to list them out. You might just only list out the things that you don't like and you'd like to adjust. So once you've listed them out, then you proceed with iteration. So you can make adjustments based on what you don't like and tell it to maybe move the button upwards a little bit, or change the color, or whatever thing you want to adjust on the screen. After that, you can now export. You can export as picture, you can copy the code, or you can copy it to Figma. Most times I copy to Figma because I design. So when I copy to Figma, I can make whatever adjustment I want to make later. So this is the workflow. And then when it comes to prompting, it can be really difficult to come up with the right words that will help the AI agent come up with a screen that matches what you want. So I have a template, like I said earlier, that will help you with that. So I have so many prompts here on the screen: vague, basic, good, and great. So for the vague prompt, which says make me an app, that's just, vague. It does not have certainty on what you want it to make. So you can actually just make e-commerce application or fintech application. There's no specificity of the type of application. And then the second one just says design a login screen. So design a login screen is better than make me an app, because you specify the exact screen you want. So, but it is not good. It is not like a good prompt. We now have something called a good prompt, which says design a dark mode login screen for a fintech application. So this one is a good prompt, but don't settle here. So the reason why this is good is because there is a visual style that is communicated here, and then there's a screen and the app type. So we have fintech application and login screen embedded in this prompt. So that is why it is a good prompt. It can give you a result, but you have to move further to a great prompt, which is the one we have here. Design a sleek dark mode login screen for a Nigerian fintech application. You can see that we have dark mode, which is the visual style. We also have sleek, which is the feeling that the users will feel when they use the application. And then the category of the application is Nigerian fintech application. And then we also have the UI elements that should be included: clean typography, electric blue call to action button, and a trust building layout. So these are like various prompts and what they might look like if you don't really know what you are doing, or if you know what you are doing. So I also have a formula for my prompt. So I have the screen type, app type, visual style, the mode, and the key UI element. So when it comes to prompting, you need a formula so that you'll be able to get consistent results whenever you use any AI agent. So for the screen type, what you do here is just list out the screen. Is it a login screen? Is it a dashboard? Is it a setting screen? Is it a home screen? Just write it out. For the app type, you have to specify the industry or the category that your app falls into. So is it a fintech category? Is it the e-commerce category? Whatever the category may be, you have to list it out. And then for the visual style, you have to list out the elements that will communicate that visual style. So is it dark mode? Is it minimal? Is it bold? Is it glassomorphism? So glassomorphism here is the texture that you want your app to have. So it can be flat design, it can be retro, whatever the texture you want your app to have, you have to list it as well. And then for the bold, it has to do with the typography. For the minimal, it has to do with the spacing, and then dark mode has to do with the color. So once you have the visual style written, then you now move over to the mode. So the mode is how you want them to feel when they interact with the visual element on the screen. Is it a trustworthy vibe you want it to have? Is it an energetic vibe? Is it a calm vibe? Is it a premium vibe? Whatever the vibe is, you have to actually add that, and you should ensure that the visual style is communicating these feelings when users open your application or make use of application. Once you're done with the mode and visual style, you move over to the key UI elements. So this is where you list out the element that should be on that screen: the call to action button, maybe the avatar, the icons, whatever thing you want to be on that screen, you have to list them out. So once you're done, then we'll now move over to the design prompt template. So I have what we call the style dictionary. This is where I check the different visual style that I want to communicate when I'm designing an application. So I would also link this in the description. Don't forget to check that out. And then we have dark, minimal, skeuomorphism, glassomorphism, neomorphism, whatever style you want, you have it here, and it tells you how to communicate these styles. So once you're done with the whole listing out of the information, then you now make use of this prompt template. So this template has to do with you filling in the gap with the screen type, app type, visual style, mood, and key elements. So it says design a screen type for a app type, make it visual style with mode, feel, include key elements. So an example looks like this. Design a home screen for a budgeting app, make it dark mode and minimal with a calm, trustworthy feel. Include a balance card include a balance overview card, spending chart, and quick action button. So you describe the elements that should be on that screen, as well as the category of the app, the screen that you want it to design, the color that communicates that feeling that you want users to have, which is dark mode and minimal. And then we also have the calm, trustworthy feeling that comes with having this minimal design and the dark mode theme applied. So calm, trustworthy feeling has to do with the mode, and then this dark mode and minimal has to do with the visual style. Now we get practical about this. I will copy out these prompts and then go over to Stitch and then prompt Stitch, so that we'll get an interface and then you'd see what it looks like. So this is what Stitch looks like. You just go to www.stitch.withgoogle.com and then you create an account, or you log in with your Google account, and then you have this prompt interface where you get to paste your script. So once you are done pasting in the script, you can click on send. So we have mobile app, we have web. You can also attach image here by clicking on this and then you attach it. This will help guide the AI agent on how you want your app to look and feel as well. If you want an inspiration, you can include something like maybe Spotify's user interface, and then it will steal the inspiration from Spotify's interface. And then there's this thing called design system. That's like an advanced topic entirely, but I'll not talk about it. You can attach that here as well, and then you can choose a model by clicking on this drop down, and then you have options here with design, thinking with 3.1 Pro, and then ideate. So for now we'll just leave it at this 3 flash, and then we'll click on send. So once I click on that send, it will open up a different screen where we can play around the canvas, or it will even generate the design, and the design will be on the canvas. So we'll wait for the design to be generated. Once it's done, hopefully we'll get what we want. So we want it to design an interface for a budgeting app. We want it to be dark mode, minimal, with a calm, trustworthy feeling. So it should also include balance overview card, spending cart, and quick action buttons. So it's quickly generated the design system. This is like a very brief minimal design system that Stitch generates by default. So we'll just wait for the actual interface to be generated. So I also want to let you know that you should not forget to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want more videos like this. And then if you want to join a community of UI and UX designers, you can click the link in my bio to join the WhatsApp group. So now we have something on the screen, mindful capital, and then we said it should include a balance overview card. That's the one on top. We have the spending charts. The one below, we have the quick action buttons. So these are the quick action buttons. So this is like a very good interface design. And then we said we wanted something calm and trustworthy. So this color is actually a good color that communicates that as well. So I think it is done. It is done generating the screen. I'll just click on this play button so that I'll be able to see what it looks like. So that is how you play the interface. It will open up a preview screen where we can actually preview the generated interface. So this is what it looks like. You can now scroll to view the details of this screen. So this is what it generated. This is the card. I said it should generate balance overview card. It should add quick action buttons. It should also add spending chart. So this is the spending chart, and it looks really good. There's also recent spend or recent transaction. You can click to view all. So we can also design this screen if we want later, and these are the quick action buttons. So I don't know if I need to change anything here. Do I add one more action card? But if I wanted to change anything, what would it be? Let me go back to the design and try to change something. When you want to make adjustments on the interfaces that AI generates, what you just need to do is to select that on Stitch, select it, and then it will be added here. Then you describe what you want it to change or update on the design. What do I want it to do? Add a visibility toggle for the total balance. So we'll wait for it to update the interface. If it is something we don't like, we can easily undo by using the Ctrl+Z key on your keyboard to undo the action. Is it too far apart? Okay, it's not too far apart. But if I want to make changes, I'll just move it closer to this place. I think I'll make it closer because keeping it here means that they don't really relate. So I think I'll bring this closer to this total balance text, because these elements here, they relate to each other, and if I take it far apart, I'm violating the proximity rule. So I'll just bring it closer. I'll tell it to move the visibility toggle icon close to the total balance text. Okay, so I want to move it closer to total balance so they can easily toggle that there. I do not really want it to be beside the balance amount because of scalability. What if the amount increases? It will go off and then this will not be responsive again. So that's why I want it here, where we can control the responsiveness of the interface. So yeah, this is cool. I love it. So you see, you can easily make adjustments by just prompting the AI. So I'll play this once again. So once it is ready, we can now verify that the eye icon is there. So the eye icon is now here, and then you realize that the prototype thing I talked about works. So I clicked on it and then it was able to toggle the visibility of the balance. So this looks really good. So there's something else I'd like to show you, which is how to copy the design. That's if you want to copy. All you just need to do is to select. Once you've selected, you have the more, and then click on export. Once you click on it, you have various formats that you can export this screen as. You can export as a zip file, project with Figma, or whatever you want. Most times I use Figma, and then when you use Figma or you select Figma, you click on convert. It will load the first time. Once it is done, then you have the copy, and you now copy it to Figma. So you can now go to Figma and then paste it. But for now, I'm not doing that. So I'll click on this again and click on download. When you click on download, it will download it as a picture, but it will be zipped. I don't know if they've changed. Okay, it is still zipped. So you can just extract the zipped file and then you have access to the screen. So that is how you actually export or download the file. If you want the code version, select the file again, click on more, and then view code. When you click on view code, you get access to the code. So this is the code for that interface. So you can just copy this code and then make changes or import it into your file or your project. So now we are done with the first prompt. I would like us to prompt the second time so that you would see the value or how Stitch helps speed up the design process. So I'll switch back to the presentation. We were able to use these prompts to create an interface that looks really good. So we'll use this because I don't want to use the entire prompt because it will make this video longer. So we'll use the second one, which is design a home screen for a food delivery app, light mode, vibrant and appetizing with bold hero imagery, a search bar at the top, horizontal restaurant category chips, and a vertical list of nearby restaurant cards with ratings. So if, for instance, you don't really know how to describe what you want, you can go to Pinterest, get an image of what you like, and then tell an AI to describe what you can see on the interface, and then you now copy it. You can describe the mode, you can describe the visual elements or the visual style, you can describe the components, the UI elements within that screen as well. So we'll just come up with an interface with this prompt, and I'll switch it from mobile app to web app so that we'll have something different. So I'll close this and then copy the prompt. I'll close this project and then create a new project. This time it will be a web project. So I'll paste the prompt and then I'll switch from app to web. So I'll toggle the tab and then I'll change it from mobile app to web app, and then I will now send this prompt to the AI agents to start working on it. So yeah, If you've not liked this video, please do, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos like this, because I'll be posting often when it comes to AI agents, Figma, or anything design related as well. So if you want to also join the design community, don't forget to check the description for a link that will take you to the community. And then if you also need the files for this project, it is also added on the description of this video as well, so you can easily access the file. So we'll wait for it to generate the actual screen that we want. This is just the design system, and then there's something about Stitch that I really like. I think it's a recent update. It will first of all generate the images. If you wanted to use an image on a design, it will generate the images, and then later it will now use the images. So you can easily copy this image to Figma or wherever you want to use the image. AI agent has gotten really good to the extent that you might not really need to make much adjustments when it is done designing the interface. So yeah, I think I like what I'm seeing here, and the only thing that I might want to change is the footer area, but I'll not do that. You already know how to do it. You just have to select the file and describe to the AI agent on what to do. This video is already too long and I don't want it to be longer than this. Now we have an interface. I'll just click on the play, select, and then click on play. I want to see what it looks like. So this is the interface and what it looks like. So we can easily scroll and view the elements. So you can see horizontal scroll works here as well for the pills. And then we also have the images for the product, which is the food here. So it is displaying per restaurant, has the delivery time, and if it's a free delivery or a paid delivery. So this is really good. The only thing I don't really like is the footer, and I don't really have any idea on how to go about the footer here at the moment. But if I wanted to go further with this design, I can prompt the AI agent and tell it what to do. So for now, we'll leave it at this, and like I said earlier, you can easily export this by selecting the file or the frame, and then you click on the more, and then you'll be able to copy to Figma or export the file. So there's something else that you can do, which is have variations. So for now we only have one interface or one idea or one visual layout style. If you want something different, we can select this file, click on generate, and then we have what we call variations. When you click on this, you will have multiple versions of this application or this screen that you just designed. So we'll click on, maybe just leave it at 2, and then the creative range, you just leave it at explore. You can also choose the aspects. If you wanted to focus on the layout, you just select the layout. If you wanted to focus on the color scheme, you select images, text, font, whatever. So I'll just select only layout, and then I'll click on it, and then it will generate different versions for me. So for this one, what he did was he changed the layout style. He added a white background behind the text contents, and then the button as well. So that is the difference between this one and the initial design of this initial screen. And then for this one, he moved the category selection from here to the sidebar. So that's like the only difference here. So you can present these ideas to the stakeholders or whoever you're meant to present the ideas to, and then they'll pick an option, or you can even decide yourself which one makes sense for you. And then once you're done, you just export. So now we are done with this. When it comes to AI agents, they will design screens that you don't like or does not even look like what you expect. So you should just know that they are not perfect yet, and in order for you to get perfection, you need to keep prompting the AI agent. So I have like a few examples of the kind of prompts that you should use and things that you should do. So when it comes to prompting, first of all, you should be specific. Do not say random things like move the button. You have to specify how you want it to move the button or where you want it to move it. And then you should also ensure to make changes one at a time. Do not list out multiple things that you wanted to change. If you wanted to change the nav bar, the button, and the color or something, do not list everything out because it might make a mistake. But if you focus on one element at a time, you get perfection. And then when it comes to refining the names on elements on the screen, you can easily do that yourself if it's like a very brief name, or you can still prompt it and tell it the exact name you want it to update. So you write out the name, update the text on the call to action button, the text that says submit now on the call to action button. So you are specifying the exact button you want it to update. And then we also have variations. You should always use the variations if you're not satisfied with the first result, and then it will help give you different perspective as to which one makes sense versus which one does not make sense. Sometimes you might even end up liking all three, or liking certain sections within all designs. You might like the hero section of the first design, you might like the button style for the second design, and then you might like the typography style on the other ones. So it just helps you make better decision or come up with a perfect design. So there are other ones here, but you can take a screenshot of this, or you just save them for later use so that you'll be able to reference and come up with better designs. So that is all for the essentials and how to start prompting like a pro. So I want to give you a challenge so that you'll be able to try out Stitch yourself. Go to stitch.com, create an account, and then copy this prompt. Once you copy this prompt, paste it there, and then look at the results that it gives you. If it is something that you like, you can save it or make adjustments to the design by telling it what to change. And then you can also use the templates to start trying out these prompting skills, because it will help you understand how Stitch or how AI agent works or operates. When you are done with the designs and you want to submit, or you need critique regarding the designs you create, you can join the community and send me a message, and then I'll respond to your message. And then thank you so much for watching this video. Like if you found this video valuable, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notification if you want more videos like this. If you also want resources or educational content regarding UI and UX design, check out your uxguy.xyz, and you have access to so many concepts that has to do with UX design. And then if you want to join the community, click the link in the description, and then you have access to the community. Until next time, keep creating.